Today, I'm throwing myself under the bus for you because we're going back in time 6 years ago, more precisely, when I first started flying drones. And back then, I had my Phantom 3 Standard from DJI, my first ever drone, and I was absolutely clueless. At that time, I had never held a camera or a drone in my hands. I was a complete beginner and I had no idea what to do with these things. And I'm sure many of you guys are in the same shoes. Many of you are just starting out with this hobby. Many of you are complete beginners when it comes to shooting with your drone, shooting with a camera, and you don't know what to do with these things in your hands. You don't know how to get those cool shots. You don't know how to compose them, what to do with the drone in the air, and you might be scared of flying it. Back then, I was very scared of flying the drone. I was thinking I'm going to crash every single time, and you will see for yourself because I'm really embarrassed to show you some of my first shots with my Phantom 3 Standard, but it's getting better. It's definitely getting better the more you do it. So in today's video, I'll show you what my first couple of shots after owning my drone were, and then I'll recreate those shots at the very same location, showing you what you can do to eliminate some of these mistakes I did 6 years ago to hopefully learn something useful. So we really can't start without me showing you those very basic shots I took with the Phantom 3 Standard. Keep in mind, I was really scared of the drone itself, and I was scared to not crash it, to not lose it in the water. It was also extremely windy. This location is very popular for being very windy at all times, so you can never really go there to film and have a calm weather. It's always very windy. But I was really scared because I was leasing this drone. I was paying it monthly and I had a lot of payments to do for this drone. It was for about a year of payments, and it was my first week with this drone. So I was really scared to not lose it and have to pay for it for the remaining year or so. That's the reason why at first I didn't even fly it. I was I was holding the drone. So I was using it as a gimbal. Let's take this Mavic 3 for example. I did not fly the drone. I was just holding it like a gimbal in my hands, like so. And I was shooting with it. It was turned on, it was recording, and I was just holding it like this. And I was just like, okay, let's shoot. Let's see what this place is all about. I was like, yeah, I was taking some shots with the drone from my hands because it was windy, because it was over the water, and I was scared. You will see it in some of the shots. You can see the props because I'm just holding the drone. And that's something that I want to focus on first, because it's very, very important to not feel scared of flying your drone. Even if it's in windy conditions, even if it's over water. Nowadays, the technology is very much advanced to the point where you can really trust it. Of course, maybe don't do it on your first ever flight. However, you should feel confident that 95–98% of the time, the drone is going to be rock solid in the air, especially the bigger ones from DJI like the Air 2, the Air 2S, the Mavic 3, or even the Phantom drones from before. They can handle wind very, very well. It's all in your head. Most of the time, it's just a psychological barrier that keeps you from flying because you feel scared you're going to crash into something or just lose the drone. As long as you follow some basic rules to keep the drone calibrated, to have enough GPS satellites, and to be aware of your surroundings, you'll be just fine. Most of the time I was just looking around with the drone like it's sitting on a pole and you're looking around. That's one of the things I hate about people who are starting out with drones. They just never really fly, they just look around. And that's something else that I want to focus on. You need to move this drone. You need to have some type of action in your shot, and not necessarily an action that is going to be dangerous, but you need to introduce some movement. You need to make those shots interesting to look at, because otherwise it's just a waste of time for the person watching this video because you're not really doing anything. So try to take advantage of your environment and try to diversify your shots as much as you can. So for example, it's always a good idea to start with a nice establishing shot, showcasing all the area where you will be shooting. Then what you can do is introduce some low flying shots to showcase some depth, some action, some dynamics. And then it's really up to you to do whatever you want from different angles. Just use the drone to its maximum potential by using different angles and showcasing that area from different views. Something which I'm also very much guilty of is sometimes I just shoot the area without having a subject. And having a subject, even if it's just one person passing through the shot, makes a whole lot of difference. Let's say you're shooting a bridge and someone is walking on that bridge. It makes it interesting for the viewer, wondering what is going to happen next, what's going on in the shot. Whereas if you're only shooting the empty bridge, it's just an empty bridge. It might look cool, but it's empty and nothing is going on. So make sure you have enough dynamic, enough movement in your shot, and fly with other people. Fly with your girlfriend, for example. Make her go somewhere and follow her with the drone. If you don't have anyone to fly with and you're by yourself, you can use the active track mode. Most of the drones have that. You can use some of the quick shots that most DJI and other types of drones offer to introduce some more action. Even if you're the only person in that area, you can still shoot and be in the frame at the same time. And the final mistake, or something which I wish I started learning about earlier, is grading your shots. Nowadays, most drones offer a flat color profile that you can shoot in, which gives you a little bit more dynamic range, a little bit more information that you can keep, preserve in your shot, that you will be able to extract afterwards when you grade your footage. So if you shoot in this flatter color profile, you'll have more data, more information to work with, so you can grade your footage afterwards and make it look a little bit better compared to that baked in normal color profile that shoots everything and keeps it inside the footage, and you don't have that much freedom to tweak that later in post. So for me, it's always a matter of shooting in the flattest color profile possible, so I can have the most flexibility to color grade my footage later in post, and I can have the most freedom to make it look the way I want it to look. If you want to learn more about color grading, I will throw a couple of useful videos in the description, something I've been talking about in the past couple of years. I've done a lot of tutorials about color grading, so make sure you check the description for those videos if you're interested to learn more. And now, with all that information combined, let's just do a quick recap of the footage I took just recently, a couple of days ago. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Ciao.